Texas today doing so. Trump will be as well. And a congressman from that state, Colin Allred, announced yesterday that his campaign for U.S. Senate raised an additional $11 million in just the past 16 days. That brings his campaign's total to more than $80 million in his battle to unseat incumbent Republican Senator Ted Cruz. At the same time, the congressman has focused on abortion health care as a key issue after Texas implemented its strict, near total abortion ban, which is highlighted in this new campaign ad.
She would have been our third baby.
My second.
Our first.
Our second and third baby. Our baby would never survive.
And now my life was on the line.
And the care we needed was denied.
Because of Ted Cruz and the extremist abortion ban. A ban with no exception for rape, incest, or our health.
If you're experiencing pregnancy complications in Texas, you're in danger. It's that simple. And it's Ted Cruz and the anti-abortion extremists' fault.
That's a powerful ad. And earlier this week, NBC's Ryan Nobles pressed Senator Cruz on that issue. Here's part of that exchange.
So I answered that question many times. And what I said is, I agree with the United States Supreme Court.
But isn't your personal preference relevant here? I mean, you're a leader in the state. You're elected statewide. And
so I recognize you don't like my answer.
No,
but that's okay. My answer
You're not answering it. Right?
No, I am answering it. You just don't like it. What I am saying is that is a decision for the state legislature and the governor.
What? Just to make clear, then you're not in favor of a national ban on abortion. That's what you mean by Texas has one law, California has another.
Every state is going
so you
to
wouldn't
adopt.
Support that legislation.
There's not going to be a national ban. And by the way, Donald Trump.
You wouldn't vote for it.
By the way, Donald Trump said he would veto any national ban.
And Congressman Allred joins us now. He will be speaking later today at the Harris rally in Houston, which will also feature Beyonce and Willie Nelson. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. Abortion rights, abortion health care will be front and center at that rally today. Texas, as you well know, has some of the most restrictive laws in the nation. That was Senator Cruz sidestepping the question about whether he'd support a national abortion ban or not. Talk to us about what today means, the vice president there talking about this important issue.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Good morning. What you just saw there is what Texans are so sick and tired of. Is this guy who has spent his entire career trying to and putting in place this abortion ban, who's introduced a national abortion ban 5 times in the United States Senate, who on the debate stage with me wouldn't answer the question and was badgering the moderator saying, why are you asking me about this, and won't answer that question, is still trying to hide from the results of what he's done to our state. And they're very real. And I know these women, all the folks you just saw in that ad are friends of mine. And what they've been through is wrong. And in Texas, we believe in freedom. I'm a 4th-generation Texan. This is not it. And so we're going to beat Ted Cruz. We're going to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. And we're going to highlight that again tonight.
Hi, Congressman. It's Molly Jong-Fast. You in Texas, SB 8 actually was enacted a year before the end of Roe, and so you guys have had an abortion ban functionally for a year longer than the rest of the country. It has led to this recent study from Johns Hopkins about increased infant death in your state. Yep. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. We've seen an enormous spike in infant death. We've had a 56% increase in our maternal mortality rate. Molly, we've had 20% of Texas OBGYNs who are saying they're planning on leaving the state, 13% saying they're planning on retiring early. Among folks who are residencies to be OBGYNs in Texas, many of them are saying they're not going to practice in Texas. This is a crisis for us. It already is. We're not talking about what's coming. We're talking about what's happening right now. And if you want to start a family in Texas, it has become dangerous and it's becoming much more difficult. And as somebody who, my wife and I, we've had 2 boys here in Dallas in the last 5 years, I can tell you this is just not what anybody wants. And so this is what we have to do, is we have to talk about this on the national stage, because what Ted Cruz has done to women and families in Texas, he does want to do nationally, whatever he says. Everybody knows this. He spent his entire career on this. When he ran for president, he went further and was saying that we should ban things like IVF and certain forms of birth control. So this is what we have to stand up to.
Congressman, let me ask you about something that happened in Green Bay. I know that you know that location. Let me ask you about something that Donald Trump said back in 2015 when he was running for president. At the same time he was planning to pick 3 conservatives to put on the Supreme Court to get rid of Roe v. Wade, he told me he thinks that he believes women should face some sort of punishment for having an abortion. What does that mean to women out in Texas? Don't they realize that he said, I want them to be punished? I changed the Supreme Court so they would be punished, and here I am denying them for punishment.
That's right. Well, thank you, Chris. You know, the last time I was in Green Bay was to play against the Packers, but I do remember him saying that. And you know, this is very, very real. And I'm telling you, I know that for y'all sitting there, you might not follow this as closely as I am here in Texas, but people are aware that this has gone way too far. Even folks who are not necessarily what you would consider to be pro-choice are supporting me because they understand that this is way too far, and that what has happened in Texas in terms of women being turned away from hospitals, in terms of women being put into these extreme positions, victims of rape and incest, being forced to give birth to their rapist child, 26,000 of which that has happened in Texas. And then you throw on top of that we have a bounty law here that folks are starting to use. We have an attorney general who's starting to seek medical records of women who traveled outside of the state. They're talking about tracking folks' pregnancies. What are we talking about here? This is insane. And it's gone way, way too far. And that's why we're going to see on November 5th that so many Texas women and families are going to show up, turn the page, and we're going to beat Ted Cruz.
All right, Democratic candidate for Senate in Texas, Congressman Colin Allred, thank you so much for being with us. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.